Okay. In today's video, we are going to focus on the low back. Baby's napping, so we'll do our best to take advantage of this time and record. This is another video for my beautiful sister Julia, and one of my beautiful sisters, and this is customized for her because she does have low back stuff, as most of us do. And so we will start on our back in a supine position. Recline. Yes, that's the right word. You don't know. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just be on your back. To begin, relaxing. I've got some geranium diffusing that helps in feelings of calmness. This might be a good one to do when you wake up first thing in the morning. Just leave the babe on the bed, roll onto the floor, take a few deep breaths. Inhaling through the nose helps to relax the nervous system. You can exhale with a ha, you can exhale through the nose if you're trying to be quiet. Whatever you need to do. And allow your body to relax for a moment. And then on our next inhale, we're going to stretch our arms overhead, lengthening up, maybe stretching the toes out. If you did just wake up, this is a nice one to do alternating right and left reaches from fingertips to toes, kind of like a kitty cat does when it wakes up from a nap. And we'll begin exhaling to bring the knees into the chest. You're moving with the breath. Inhaling to stretch, exhaling to close. Nice and easy at your own time with your own breath. And notice that bottom foot, keep it active, pushing out through your heel. Top foot can relax as you take the knee a little closer to the outside of your rib cage. We'll do one more on each side. And as your left knee comes in, hold here and take the right knee up to meet. Getting ready to stretch out the hamstrings, the low back, and get a little closer to the floor as you hug the knees in. And then you can choose to either point your toes as your legs lift up, exhaling as they come in, or push up through your heels on the inhaling breath. You're going to feel it more behind the back of the knees if you push up through your heels. Just finding the sensation that you're looking for this morning is what you want to do. And you can alternate, whatever feels good. The next time the knees are in, we're going to move our hands so you can see your knuckles, see your wrists, fingertips drape down towards your shins. And with an inhale, push the knees away from you. Take both knees over to your right and exhale as they come back in. Inhale and exhale. So you're drawing circles, moving away, and exhaling to close. When you've done a few in one direction, just switch sides, inhaling away and exhaling over. And if it feels better on one side to do it, then you could hang out there for a moment. We all have different things going on in our hips and our shoulders. Our shoulders are affected by this stretch too. So do what you need to do. And then maybe rock the hips from side to side a couple of times. Now from here, we're going to bring the feet to the floor. Stretching the arms out to the side to begin. Keep your core strong and engaged. And lower the feet down. Now you can have your palms down or you can have your palms up, whatever feels good to you. And we're going to keep the feet a little separated, about hip distance apart. Or you can go wider or you can go more narrow. Really, doesn't matter. Do what feels good to you. Again, that's just the theme of our practice today. So as you inhale, we do nothing. And as you exhale, drop your knees over to one side and look in the opposite direction of the knees. You can push down with your foot that is in the same direction, whatever you're facing. to get a little bit deeper into the stretch. And as you inhale, this time the knees come to center, exhaling over. If I'm looking to the right, my right foot pushes into the floor to create a deeper stretch through the front of the thigh, through the low back a little bit. So you're just alternating right and left with your own breath and your own pace. And then we'll take the knees back to center. And you're going to use a block. Sorry, I'll make a note in the video that you need a block at the beginning. And you're going to have the block in its narrowest face. And we're going to do a little bit of core work. This helps to stabilize the spine, which thus helps to relax the back. So squeezing the block, narrow block between the knees. Hands are by your sides, shins stay parallel to the floor, and we inhale the knees away. Exhale. And you can experiment with the breath here. You really can't get it wrong. You might exhale, knees away, and inhale as they come in. Do about 3 to 5. Because when you bring the knees back in, we're going to switch, taking the block from its narrowest face to its medium, wide, medium, and large. So medium next goes between the knees. Again, doing 3 to 5. Going away and drawing back in. See if you can keep your navel to your spine, hollow out through the abdominal wall. Ooh, can you hear I'm shaking? I'm shaking already. Are you still breathing? The next time the knees come back in, go to the widest face between the knees. And I want you to pay attention. Notice, which one felt the best, or remember which one felt the best in my hips. Everybody's got a different preference. And one more time, we're going to take the block to either wide, narrow, or large, or medium, wide, medium, or narrow. Whatever felt best for your hips, and we'll do 5 more. Now the slower you go, the more you are going to feel this. Notice if you can keep your shins parallel, not up or down, but parallel to the floor. Drawing back in. And relaxing your feet down. Now you're going to take that same block and place it underneath your hips. You want it not too high. If you go high, it's going to be hard to get this effect that we're trying to do. We want to be able to let our pelvis, the top of the hips, kind of drip down. So I need to take the block a little lower, so it's almost underneath the tailbone, making sure that it's in a comfortable, stable space. Adjusting as you proceed, as you need to. You're going to take your right knee back into your chest. So now my pelvis is tipping back towards my belly button. Hug the knee in. And the bottom leg is just going to slide forward, keeping your heel to the floor. And a delicious stretch through the front of the hip, right where we just worked. And come back to a space of just relaxing and letting go. If you feel extra tight in the front of the hip or in the back, whatever you need to do, or wherever it is, take a deep breath into that spot and exhale to completely relax. Again, notice that bottom foot is flexed, which means your toes are pulling back towards your nose. We'll take another deep breath here, and if you need to, you can move your hips around. Notice if you can relax both shoulders. And as you transition, take your top foot to the floor. Bring your opposite knee to chest. And extend bottom leg. Adjust when and where you need to. And guide your breath wherever you feel tight. I hear the baby making noise. And If you need to, you can linger a little bit more on one side to the other. This is supposed to be an passive stretch, but if you'd like to get a bit more stretch and engagement, engage your glute, engage the back of the hamstring, again, flex the bottom foot, gently release. Taking both feet to the floor, removing the block from underneath your hips. For now, I'm letting it just kind of go off to the side. From here, moving into a twist, taking the arms back out. And we want to make sure that we've got complete alignment when we're in this twist. So we begin by taking the hips over to one end of the mat. So if we're going to twist let's start again. You're going to take your left hips over. Hopefully you can follow these cues because I can't watch you. Taking the hips over to the left. So it's almost like you're trying to get the outside edge of your right hip to the left side of the mat on the floor. The right leg goes out long. The left knee comes into the chest. Taking your opposite hand to knee over to the right side. Let your left arm stretch out. Now, our left shoulder, this shoulder, wants to stay down to the floor. We're looking towards that left hand, but don't compromise. Don't try to take the knee over, lifting your shoulder up. This isn't a good twist. It might feel a little bit good, but for the integrity of our spine, of our muscles, of our body, keep the shoulders down. Allow this knee to come down in time. You can hold underneath your thigh if that feels better to you. Again, find what feels good in the moment. Wise words. Find what feels good to you. Everybody is different. And again, take a couple more deep breaths here. And as you inhale, think about lengthening from those bottom toes all the way through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, relax through your waistline. Allow the twist to happen. And then begin to gently unwind, coming back to center when you're ready. Of course, you can hang out longer if you'd like. Pause the video if you want to. And then switching to the other side. So now the outside of the left hip makes its way as far over to the right edge of the mat as it can go. Left leg goes out long. Right knee comes up into chest. And we guide that right knee over to the left side of the mat, looking to the right side. And again, my knee is not touching the floor. Over time, it'll get there. Remember, new babe. Whew. And I adjusted just a little bit because our goal is to create a straight line all the way up from the toes, knees, hips, shoulders, through the crown of the head. Relaxing your ear to the floor if you can. And again, inhaling to lengthen through the body. Exhaling to release a bit more. Deep, deep breaths. Alrighty, we'll move on to a couple more stretches. So begin to gently unwind. And we're just gonna roll all the way over to one side, transitioning into a wide knee child's pose. Knees go to about the width of the mat, toes touch, and your hips touch down to your heels. Arms stretching up as far forward as feels good to you, and we relax down. Now notice here if you can keep a strong abdominal wall. So you're creating that sturdy, strong wall. So when you breathe in, you're not going to expand through the belly, but rather guide the breath to your low back, guide the breath to your hips, relaxing your forehead down. And if it feels better to you, of course, you can take your hands and let them rest on take your forehead, take your hands down, let your forehead rest on your hands. Or you can relax all the way down, and if your forehead does touch anything, just move into a rock from right and left, like so. Across the brow line, just above the brow line. We're going to go into a sort of funky cat-cow variation. So, side of the body moves over. So you're going to lead with your left shoulder here. Inhaling up, create some extension through the spine. And then as you exhale, lead with your right hip. So you're moving in a circle. Back down to the heels. Inhale to open up. Exhaling to draw back. Inhaling to extend. And exhaling to round. Whoop, there's the babe. She's fine. All right. Now, sometimes our hips are kind of out of whack, shoulders are kind of out of whack, so I encourage you to move into the stretch that your body needs. You're going to find a few different stretches here, maybe in the shoulders, in the hips. Moving in the opposite direction now if you haven't started already. And when the hips come back to your heels, hang out there for another moment. And with an inhale, we're going to roll up to a plank, quick plank, hugging your navel to your spine. And then exhale your hips to your downward dog. Check in with the legs here, bending in your knees, alternating right and left. Now, downward dog is really tricky to explain if I can't see you. I don't want to give you any kind of cues or adjustments, but take a look. Our goal is to keep the hands to the floor, pushing into that spot. Oh no, she's crying. Do 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 do. While we were waiting for the baby to fall asleep, I decided it would be good to do some leg work. Fits perfectly in this video after coming up from your forward fold. So do 5 to 10 on each side. Here's another good one to do. I don't know exactly what to call these, but you just do a sort of half chair pose into a kickback. Sinking your hips back and then swinging that leg back. If you do decide to do this one, lift up from the pelvic floor, keep your right knee or whatever bending knee behind the toes, extending your hips back to get the nice stretch in the booty. And again, do 5 to 10 on each side. we'll do one more exercise for the legs. Plie squat, toes are turned out, lift up through the arches of your feet, pull the energy up from the inside of the legs. And you can continue with squats, or you can just kind of hold and pulse, whatever feels good to you. Just making sure that your baby is safe and your body is safe as you work through these exercises. That wasn't too bad. Like I was saying about downward facing dog, I would prefer to see your downward dog and correct it, and you could send me a picture or video, and I can give you some corrections for a very low price. Or you can give me a call and we can schedule something where we can be in person. Anyway, moving on with our exercise. After from your downward dog, move up like I did into a forward fold and roll up nice and easy. And we're going to move into our arm swings. Standing tall, feet are underneath the hips. And it's similar to the last video that I posted. If you haven't seen it, ask me about it and I'll send it to you. But we're going to change the arms. So you're going to take a big breath in, arms overhead, and as you exhale, fingertips slide back, inhale up. Notice if you can keep your knees over your ankles, at least behind the toes. Exhaling as you come down, back stays flat. Hug your core in as you exhale to come down, so we're not chopping through the core. Of course, back stays flat. You can do anywhere between 10 and 20. And the next time you come down, stay low. Arms swing forward, inhale, exhale, back. For 3, 2, and then we're gonna roll up slow again. Pushing down on your thighs, squeeze your booty. One vertebrae at a time, we lift up. And we'll finish this short sequence with some circles of the neck. Bring your chin down, inhaling as you lift up. Exhaling as you come down. Being mindful that we stay long through the neck. This is a yes. As you come down, we exhale. What I don't want to see is this. Ugh, that doesn't feel very good. It will go a few times in each direction. And of course, if you find a sweet spot that is calling your name, like here for me, oh, it feels good. Take another deep breath into that spot, wherever it is for you, and let go easily. Man, oh man. And then begin to bring the neck back to center. Inhaling, shoulders up to your ears. Roll forward and down, inhaling up, exhaling down. And reverse directions. Get as big as you like with these. And shake it out. Hopefully that is enough to get you feeling good for your day. Thank you so much. Please leave a comment or a like or whatever you need to communicate with me. Even if you don't like this, I would love to hear your feedback, and I can hopefully make it better. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Namaste.